Outliers, the Story of Success. Author Malcolm Gladwell. Introduction. Outliers, the Story of Success is a non-fiction book written by Malcolm Gladwell, published in 2008. The book explores the factors that contribute to high levels of success in individuals and groups, and challenges the traditional notion that success is solely the result of individual talent and effort. The book is divided into two main sections: opportunity and legacy. In the first section, Gladwell explores how certain opportunities and circumstances can give individuals an advantage in achieving success. He argues that success is not solely based on talent and hard work, but also on external factors such as access to resources, timing, and cultural norms. Gladwell uses examples such as the Matthew effect, which suggests that those who are already successful will continue to have more opportunities and advantages, and the story of Bill Gates, who had access to a computer at a young age when it was still a relatively new technology, to illustrate his point. The second section, legacy, delves into how cultural legacies and family backgrounds can shape an individual's chances of success. Gladwell explores the idea of practical intelligence, which refers to the ability to navigate social situations and understand implicit rules, and how this skill is often shaped by cultural upbringing. He also discusses the concept of culture of honor, where individuals from certain regions of the world are more likely to respond aggressively to perceived threats, and how this can have an impact on levels of violence and crime. Throughout the book, Gladwell weaves together a diverse range of examples and anecdotes, from the success of the Beatles to the experiences of Korean air pilots, to illustrate his argument that success is not solely a product of individual effort, but is also influenced by external factors beyond an individual's control. Overall, Outliers is a thought-provoking book that challenges conventional wisdom about success and encourages readers to consider the broader social and cultural contexts in which success is achieved. Part 1. Opportunity. Chapter 1. The Matthew Effect. Chapter 1 refers to a quote from the Bible that states, "For unto everyone that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that hath not shall be taken away even that which he hath." Gladwell uses this quote to explain how success can often lead to further success, while failure can lead to more failure. He argues that individuals who have a small advantage in a particular area, whether it be in sports, academics, or business, are often given more opportunities to succeed and further develop their skills. Meanwhile, those without such advantages are often left behind. He provides several examples to support this argument, including a study that found that a disproportionate number of Canadian professional hockey players were born in the first few months of the year, and thus had a physical advantage over those born later in the year. He also notes that successful entrepreneurs, such as Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, had access to computers at a young age, giving them an advantage in learning how to code and develop software. Gladwell suggests that understanding the Matthew effect can help us to better understand the factors that contribute to success, and to create more equitable opportunities for those who may not have such advantages. He also emphasizes the importance of recognizing that success is not solely a result of individual effort and talent, but is often influenced by external factors beyond an individual's control. Chapter 2. The 10,000-Hour Rule. In this chapter, Gladwell argues that the key to achieving mastery in any field is to dedicate approximately 10,000 hours of deliberate practice. Gladwell uses several examples to support this argument, including the Beatles' early years of playing in clubs in Hamburg, Germany, and the success of the violinist Yo-Yo Ma. He also highlights a study by psychologist Anders Ericsson, which found that it takes an average of 10 years and 10,000 hours of practice for musicians to achieve international recognition. Gladwell emphasizes that deliberate practice is not simply mindless repetition, but rather a focused effort to improve specific aspects of one's performance. He notes that successful individuals often have access to resources, such as coaches and mentors, that help them to engage in deliberate practice more effectively. However, Gladwell also acknowledges that the 10,000-hour rule is not a guarantee of success. He notes that innate talent, opportunities, and luck can all play a role in achieving success. Nevertheless, he argues that deliberate practice is an important factor in achieving mastery in any field, and that anyone can improve their skills with enough dedication and effort. Overall, Chapter 2 serves as a reminder that success is not solely a result of innate talent or luck, but is often the product of hard work, dedication, and deliberate practice. Chapter 3: The Trouble with Geniuses, Part 1. In this chapter, Gladwell explores the idea that high intelligence is not always a guarantee of success, and can even be a hindrance in certain situations. Gladwell begins the chapter by discussing the story of Christopher Langan, a man with an exceptionally high IQ who grew up in poverty and struggled to achieve success in his life. Gladwell argues that Langan's high intelligence may have actually worked against him, as he was often bored and unchallenged in school and never developed the necessary social skills and connections to succeed in the professional world. Gladwell then introduces the concept of practical intelligence, which refers to the ability to navigate social situations and understand implicit rules. He argues that while high IQ is important for certain professions, such as science and engineering, practical intelligence is often more important for success in other fields, such as law and business. Gladwell uses the example of lawyer Joe Flom, who grew up in an immigrant family and developed practical intelligence through his experiences navigating the social and cultural norms of his community. This skill helped him to succeed in law, despite not having the highest IQ. Overall, Chapter 3 challenges the traditional notion that high intelligence is a guaranteed predictor of success. It highlights the importance of practical intelligence and social skills in achieving success in certain fields, and suggests that individuals who possess these skills may have a greater advantage than those with higher IQs. Chapter 4: The Trouble with Geniuses, Part 2. In this chapter, Gladwell continues to explore the idea that high intelligence is not always a guarantee of success, but can instead lead to negative outcomes if not paired with other factors. Gladwell begins the chapter by discussing the story of Chris Langan, who was introduced in the previous chapter. Langan, despite having an extremely high IQ, failed to achieve success due to his lack of practical intelligence and social skills. Gladwell argues that this is a common theme among geniuses who fail to achieve success. Gladwell then introduces the concept of practical intelligence, which he describes as the ability to read and respond appropriately to social situations. He argues that practical intelligence is often more important than raw intelligence in determining success in fields such as law and business. To support his argument, Gladwell uses the example of the J. Paul Getty Museum in Los Angeles, which was sued by the Italian government for possession of a rare statue that had been stolen from Italy. Despite having a team of lawyers with high IQs, the Getty Museum was unable to win the case due to their lack of practical intelligence and understanding of the social and political dynamics at play. Gladwell concludes the chapter by emphasizing that intelligence is not the only factor in determining success. He argues that practical intelligence and social skills are equally important, and that those who possess a combination of both are more likely to achieve success in the long run. Overall, Chapter 4 highlights the importance of practical intelligence and social skills in achieving success, and challenges the traditional notion that high IQ is the only predictor of success. Chapter 5: The 3 Lessons of Joe Flom. In this chapter, Gladwell focuses on the story of Joe Flom, a prominent lawyer who built his career in the 1950s and 1960s by specializing in hostile takeovers. Gladwell begins the chapter by describing Flom's early life as the son of Eastern European Jewish immigrants. Flom faced discrimination and limited opportunities, but was able to achieve success through his intelligence, hard work, and social skills. Gladwell argues that Flom's success can be attributed to 3 key factors: his background as a Jewish immigrant, his education at a public school, and his experience as a corporate lawyer during a time of rapid change in the business world. First, Gladwell suggests that Flom's background as a Jewish immigrant gave him a unique perspective and a willingness to challenge the status quo. He notes that many successful lawyers during Flom's time came from similar backgrounds, and that their experiences of discrimination and exclusion gave them a drive to succeed. Second, Gladwell argues that Flom's education at a public school allowed him to develop practical intelligence and social skills that were valuable in his later career. He notes that public schools often provide a more diverse and challenging environment than private schools, which can lead to better outcomes for their students. Finally, Gladwell suggests that Flom's experience as a corporate lawyer during a time of rapid change in the business world allowed him to see opportunities where others did not. He notes that Flom was able to spot potential in hostile takeovers at a time when they were not widely used, and that this gave him a competitive advantage in the legal field. Overall, Chapter 5 highlights the importance of background, education, and experience in achieving success. It suggests that those who possess a combination of these factors, along with intelligence and hard work, are more likely to achieve success in their careers. Part 2, Legacy. Chapter 6, Harlan, Kentucky. In this chapter, Gladwell explores the concept of cultural legacies and how they can shape the success and opportunities of individuals. Gladwell begins the chapter by describing the town of Harlan, Kentucky, which was once a booming coal mining community. He notes that many successful individuals, such as the lawyer Robert Forrester, came from Harlan and suggests that this may be due to the cultural legacy of the town. Gladwell argues that the cultural legacy of a community can have a profound impact on the opportunities and success of its members. He notes that the town of Harlan was built on a culture of honor and respect, which emphasized hard work and perseverance in the face of adversity. This culture was passed down through generations, and many of Harlan's successful individuals attribute their success to the values they learned growing up. Gladwell contrasts the culture of Harlan with that of the South Bronx, a disadvantaged community in New York City. He notes that the South Bronx has a cultural legacy of despair and hopelessness, which can make it difficult for individuals to succeed despite their best efforts. To support his argument, Gladwell uses the example of a school in the South Bronx that was able to achieve remarkable success by changing the culture of the school. The school emphasized hard work and discipline, and this new culture allowed its students to succeed despite the challenges they faced. Overall, Chapter 6 emphasizes the importance of cultural legacies in shaping the success and opportunities of individuals. It suggests that communities with a culture of hard work and perseverance are more likely to produce successful individuals, while those with a culture of despair and hopelessness may struggle to achieve success. Chapter 7, The Ethnic Theory of Plane Crashes. In this chapter, Gladwell examines the causes of plane crashes and argues that the cultural differences among flight crews can play a significant role in determining the outcome of a flight. Gladwell begins the chapter by describing the crash of Korean Air Flight 801 in 1997, which killed over 200 people. He notes that the flight crew had made a series of errors, which were attributed in part to the cultural differences between the Korean pilots and their American counterparts. Gladwell argues that the way different cultures approach communication and authority can have a significant impact on their ability to work effectively together. He notes that some cultures, such as those in East Asia, place a high value on deference to authority and may be reluctant to speak up when they see a problem. Other cultures, such as those in Western countries, place a higher value on individual initiative and may be more likely to challenge authority when they see a problem. Gladwell suggests that flight crews with members from different cultures can be particularly vulnerable to communication breakdowns and misunderstanding. He notes that some airlines have taken steps to address this issue by providing cultural training for their flight crews. To support his argument, Gladwell looks at other plane crashes, including the crash of Air Florida Flight 90 in 1982 and the crash of Avianca Flight 52 in 1990. He notes that in both cases, cultural differences played a role in the outcome of the flight. Overall, Chapter 7 emphasizes the importance of understanding cultural differences in high-stakes environments such as aviation. It suggests that cultural training and better communication can help prevent accidents and improve safety in these situations. Chapter 8, Rice Paddies and Math Tests. In this chapter, Gladwell examines the role of cultural attitudes towards hard work and education in shaping academic success. Gladwell begins the chapter by describing the importance of rice cultivation in Asian cultures, particularly in countries like China, Japan, and Korea. He notes that rice farming requires a great deal of hard work and attention to detail, and suggests that this cultural attitude towards hard work has contributed to the academic success of many Asian students. Gladwell argues that the cultural attitudes towards education in these countries are also a factor in their academic success. He notes that in many Asian countries, there is a strong emphasis on education and a belief that hard work and perseverance can lead to success. He contrasts this with the attitudes towards education in Western countries, which tend to emphasize natural ability and intelligence. To support his argument, Gladwell looks at the results of international math tests, which consistently show that Asian students perform better than their Western counterparts. He notes that this may be due in part to the cultural attitudes towards hard work and education in these countries. Gladwell also examines the role of teaching methods in contributing to academic success. He notes that in many Asian countries, teaching methods emphasize repetition and memorization, which may be more effective for learning certain types of material. He contrasts this with the teaching methods in Western countries, which tend to emphasize critical thinking and creativity. Overall, Chapter 8 suggests that cultural attitudes towards hard work and education play a significant role in academic success. It argues that understanding these cultural attitudes can help improve education systems and increase academic achievement. Chapter 9, Marita's Bargain. In this chapter, Gladwell explores the idea that successful schools are not just about money and resources, but also about a culture of dedication, hard work, and accountability. The chapter centers around the story of Marita, a young girl from a poor family in the Bronx who attends the KIPP Academy, a charter school that emphasizes academic rigor, discipline, and high expectations. The KIPP Academy, like other successful schools, has a culture that values hard work, perseverance, and accountability, and provides students with a sense of belonging and support. Gladwell argues that the success of schools like the KIPP Academy is not just about funding and resources, but also about the culture and values that are instilled in students. He notes that successful schools are often characterized by a sense of purpose, a clear mission, and a focus on academic achievement. Gladwell suggests that the key to the success of schools like the KIPP Academy is their ability to create a culture of high expectations, hard work, and dedication. He notes that this culture can be created even in the absence of financial resources, and argues that successful schools are often those that are able to create a sense of purpose and meaning for their students. To support his argument, Gladwell looks at other successful schools, including the Seed School in Washington, D.C., and the San Jose Cristo Rey High School in California. He notes that these schools are also characterized by a culture of dedication, hard work, and accountability, and suggests that these values are key to their success. Overall, Chapter 9 suggests that successful schools are not just about money and resources, but also about a culture of dedication, hard work, and accountability. It argues that creating this culture is the key to improving educational outcomes for students, particularly those from disadvantaged backgrounds. Epilogue, a Jamaican story. In this epilogue, Gladwell returns to the idea that success is not just about individual talent and effort, but also about the opportunities and advantages that individuals have access to. The chapter centers around the story of Jamaican sprinters who have dominated the world of track and field for decades. Gladwell notes that Jamaica, a small and relatively poor country, has produced an outsized number of world-class sprinters, including Usain Bolt, the fastest man in history. Gladwell suggests that the success of Jamaican sprinters is not just about individual talent and effort, but also about the unique opportunities and advantages that they have had access to. He notes that Jamaica's culture of sprinting, which emphasizes speed and athleticism, has helped create a pipeline of talented sprinters. He also notes that Jamaican sprinters have access to world-class coaching and training facilities, which have helped them refine their skills and reach their full potential. To support his argument, Gladwell looks at the story of a young Jamaican sprinter named Marlon Shirley. who lost his legs in a car accident and went on to become a world-class sprinter in the Paralympic Games. Shirley's story, according to Gladwell, illustrates the importance of both individual talent and the opportunities and advantages that individuals have access to. Overall, the epilogue suggests that success is not just about individual talent and effort, but also about the opportunities and advantages that individuals have access to. It argues that understanding these advantages and opportunities is key to understanding why some individuals are able to achieve great success while others are not. Recapitulation. The main topic of Outliers is that success is not solely a result of individual talent and hard work, but is also influenced by external factors such as cultural background, family history, and opportunity. The book challenges the traditional notion of success being solely based on individual merit and suggests that success is often determined by circumstances beyond an individual's control. Gladwell suggests that people who achieve great success are often outliers, individuals who are significantly different from the norm and have had unique opportunities and experiences that have contributed to their success. He argues that cultural legacies and family histories play a major role in shaping an individual's chances of success. For example, Gladwell examines the success of the Jewish people and argues that their cultural background and values, such as a focus on education and achievement, have contributed to their success in many fields. The book also emphasizes the importance of opportunity and hard work in achieving success. Gladwell suggests that people who practice for thousands of hours in a particular area are more likely to achieve mastery, and that the amount of time spent practicing is a key factor in determining success. He provides examples of successful individuals such as Bill Gates and the Beatles who spent countless hours practicing and refining their skills. The main lesson of Outliers is that success is a result of a complex interplay between individual talent, cultural background, family history, opportunity, and hard work. The book encourages readers to consider the many factors that contribute to success and challenges them to think differently about the traditional notion of meritocracy. Gladwell suggests that by understanding and addressing the external factors that contribute to success, individuals and society as a whole can create more opportunities for people to achieve greatness.